Hello and welcome to the Press Box podcast, hosted by myself and Lucy Casey. We're joined here by our wonderful guest for today, Ryan Isaac. Hello, Ryan.
Thank you, guys.
How are we doing today? How are you doing, Ryan?
Doing all right, yeah. I mean, it's not the best weather outside at the time we're recording this, but...
It never is in Britain.
No, but take me back a few weeks where it was October, start of October, and we had nice sunshine and it was 23 degrees. I'd have had that all year round.
True.
Very
true. Definitely.
Very true. Yeah.
So for the people at home that are watching this, Ryan Isaac is a massive Wycombe fan. But not only is he a massive Wycombe fan, he is also the ticketing executive at Wycombe Wanderers, as well as the supporters executive as well. Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah, job title in full, bit long, wishy-washy, but it's ticketing and support services executive, and I'm also the club supporter liaison officer.
Wow. That's a big job to have.
So we kind of stick to the first part of the job title rather than the second bit. They're all just entwined.
It just kind of merges.
Yeah. So the first question I'm going to ask you straight off the bat, and I plan to ask this to every guest. I asked it to Rio last week. Is what got you into football? Why football? What's football to you?
I'm going to be very honest. I don't understand football. I'm going to be very honest.
Why did we get him on?
We're going to start off very blunt. But my brain is very business-minded.
Okay.
So that's the route I went down, was business.
Yeah.
When I left school, didn't have a clue what I wanted to do for a career. I think every time someone said, what do you want to do? I wanted to be an F1 driver, an astronaut, a limousine driver, I think was one at one point, a doctor, lawyer.
That's quite a niche one, actually.
Limousine driver, yeah.
I just never knew what I wanted to do. But when I left school, I thought, actually, I love business and I loved customer service, marketing, everything that I learned. And I just thought, can I try and find something that supports my love for Wycombe Wanderers? So in theory, watching sport rather than actually understanding sport, but my business mindset as well. And that's when I was 16, first started my first ever job just on a match day at Wycombe Wanderers. So I was just selling tickets in a ticket office booth. It's not like some football clubs where they're sold out every week that they don't probably need staff like me. But
was that voluntary or were you?
So that was paid.
Okay.
So that was just paid weekend job.
Yeah, it is.
Just starting something. For me, it was like, okay, it's a job. I'm making some extra money. I'm starting off learning some skill sets and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And obviously, when I was at school, learned a bit more about business, enjoyed it, and that's when I applied to join UCFB.
Yeah. And then let's go from there. That's a good to
Talk
go
us
off.
through your journey at uni.
So I applied for multiple universities like anyone does. Again, you're not really sure on what specific course you want to do. So for me, the interest for me in sport was actually sports journalism to start with. Before I thought, actually, let's go down a business route, because you learned a lot about a sports organisation through journalism and that sort of thing. But then I looked at obviously courses, especially UCFB being so specific on football and business. It was kind of like a match made in heaven. Obviously applied for Manchester Metropolitan as well, and they had a degree in sport. So most universities have a core sports business degree where you do learn every department of a football club, that sort of thing. But with UCFB, it was so specific. So I applied and got into the Stadium and Events Management degree, and I did apply for the marketing degree as well. But I just thought stadium and events gets you an overall oversight on event management, which was another thing I looked into and enjoyed the idea of. So that's how I got to UCFB. You know, I can't fault my time at uni. I did leave after 6 weeks, but it all stems from, am I ready to be going into this university mindset? Because it's a big step up from just leaving school.
Of course.
No,
at the age of 18, it's a very big decision to make. And I think people say, oh, university is the easiest route to get where you want to go. I want to say to myself, I've proven that I didn't need university. Some people, I can only speak for myself, but there are other people that would say, I need university to get into my job role. And that's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
But for me, I got very lucky with the work I did with Wycombe Wanderers before I started uni to get to the position where I am today.
So was it was a case of while she was at uni, you was offered the job at Wycombe, and that was on the table for you to stick at UCFB?
So when I left sixth form, it's quite a while from when you leave school to go into university or in the September. So between June to September, you're thinking, what am I going to do myself for the summer?
Of course.
Most people go on holidays, party, whatever. I'm not that at the time. I can't say now. At the time, I wasn't that sort of person. So for me, it was like, okay, how can I get stuck into prepare myself for university?
Yeah.
And at the time, COVID was just finishing. So it was a very pivotal point for football clubs up and down the country, where they were just getting back to work, people coming back off furlough.
Yeah.
And I was in a fortunate position where there was some changes at Wycombe Wanderers where the manager had, well, there was a change in management.
Right.
And it meant that I came in and I simply emailed back saying, can I work on match days? Just saying, is my job still there? So I'm thinking they're still going to need people to buy tickets in person on a match day, and it's important for any club. And when we looked at that, they said, oh, come on in, we've got a new system. And obviously I knew the operations from a match day perspective prior to COVID. So went in, spoke to the ticket manager at the time, got to know him a bit more, got to know the system, the new system, how things worked out before. And just on a whim, I just said, look, I've got loads of free time. Can I volunteer to work in the ticket office, oversee the business operations, how things work? Just so I have that knowledge going to university, I can go, I know this, this and this, I know a bit about marketing, stadium operations, how to fix a TV screen, it's little things like that.
Yeah.
And I was there for 3 months, volunteering, wasn't expecting any pay, nothing. I was there to graft, to learn and understand. And at that point, just as I was leaving uni, or to go to uni, Wycombe did offer me a position, very similar like apprenticeship style sort of thing, but again, work with Wycombe to understand business overall. My heart was set on university. I think like most people, you're thinking...
I think when you know you're going, you kind of have to go with it.
So I'm thinking I've planned my last few months for this move to uni. I'm not going to say no now.
Yeah.
So turned it down. They were like, you know, it's brilliant. You're going to do very well. I still worked there on match days when they needed me as well. So I was working in the reception area as well as the ticket office, so bouncing between different locations, and went to uni instead.
Wow. Well, I mean, I think it's, well, first of all, credit to you, you know, for having that month in between sixth form and uni and deciding to go to Wycombe, not only just to do match days, but just want to understand the sort of business side of Wycombe, but on a voluntary basis as well.
I'd say the voluntary part is crucial, because not many people would want to just 100%. Go out of their way for free.
100%. And he really, like, it shows your passion for it. Like, wanting to do that and not get any sort of financial benefit for it, it shows that you really wanted to do that,
and
you know.
Even if it wasn't that, say I didn't, even though I support Wycombe, but say I moved elsewhere, it's still one of those things where even though I support Wycombe, I still want to go to that local football club and go, look, I'm doing this in the summer, I'm going to be going away for 3 years to study it more. Can I get a bit more understanding with your club now? Yeah. For me, volunteering, I think, changed my mindset on how I'm going to approach things. Yeah. So, and I think once we have a volunteer workforce at Wycombe anyway that do maintenance work around the stadium, so not office-based stuff, but I mean, I started with them when I was 14, painting lines in the car park, cleaning seats with a sponge and bucket, you know, little things. And that, I think, from when I started that young volunteering, I thought, what am I doing? I'm learning skills for nothing, and the company's not paying out for me to learn. And they were very understanding of the fact that I'm just ready to get my hands dirty. And you become basically like an office junior, office admin sort of person. You'd be like, oh, Ryan, someone's on reception, go and deal with that. Yeah, cool. And you know the systems, you know procedure.
It's just eager to learn, eager to find out things.
And all I can say to anyone is just be eager. Yeah. Be wanting to learn. I think that's the key to anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I do really have to give you credit, because I think, you know, you've done this volunteer experience at Wycombe, and you've shown your passion to start off from working match days, like I've said, to get to the position you are now in such a realistically short amount of time. It's really impressive. And I think what's more impressive in my eyes is that you've gone to uni, you've tried it out, but you making that decision to go to uni, and then, you know, it's a very hard decision to decide, I'm going to put uni behind me. This is what I want to do. A lot of people decide not to do that, and it ruins them. You know, uni's not for everyone, like you said. And I think you got offered that other path, and it's clearly worked for you. You're thriving, but it's a big jump to make, and I could probably already tell, like, it wasn't an easy jump to make either.
No, it's one of those things when you're sat in your uni accommodation, or sorry, your flat, and just sat there by yourself and just thinking, this isn't for me. But your part of you's thinking, okay, if I leave now and I say I'm not going to come back, what am I going to do with myself? What happens if I don't get a position within football? Does that change my absolute career path for what I wanted to do? But I was very lucky in the terms of that Wycombe recruiting for the role, what in a sense I was fulfilling. So I just got very lucky. Obviously I knew the manager of the department at the time. He had to put, I simply just WhatsApped him saying, look, uni's not worked out. I understand this might be on a whim. I'm just thinking, how am I going to get myself into industry still? On a whim, is there an opportunity I can come back? Whether again, that's volunteering still. Just still, whilst even though I'm not making money, I'm still doing something with my time 100%. And I'm not wasting it.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And again, it just builds a rapport on your CV, your LinkedIn pages.
Of course.
How long you spent there, and you just list everything you do. And then it was very fortunate that I got a WhatsApp message later that night, the following day, I can't exactly remember, probably still got the conversation to this day, that he spoke to the owner at the time, or whoever it was, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it was the owner, and said, this is where he's at, this is his position, and he said, come back on board. So I got very lucky, and I can't say everyone will have that opportunity to be that lucky, because there are a lot of people that I know that have worked so hard, like yourselves, to get into positions where you are at the moment. But I just find myself fortunate. I find myself very thankful, especially to those that were around me at the time. And even at uni, the students that I was with, like yourselves, supported me on that decision, because for me to make that decision is difficult in itself. But to have other people say, just think of the bigger picture, think of the future. If it's not for you, you've got to make that decision.
100%.
If you're not happy, what are you doing to yourself?
I remember having chats with you around that time, and I was like, you just don't want to be here. And that's the thing, you have to put yourself first. And obviously,
100%.
it's worked out. Like you were saying, in a couple of years, you've done a lot. So, but what has been like your highlight? Like, what's been your favourite? Is there any like pinpoint match days you can think of?
I think for me, obviously, Wycombe at Wembley.
Oh wow!
Biggest.
That's true. That's true.
But I think it's also the run up to that. So at that point, we had 2 home sellouts. We then had a sellout for the playoff leg 1. We had a sold out. Oh, sorry. We played MK Dons in the second playoff leg at their place. Nothing against any. But the stadium is still half empty, but we sold out our allocation. Even if they think they're going to.
Really happy I asked.
You might want to cut that bit. But still, we sold out our allocation for the away end at MK. And we worked tirelessly. There was nights where I wasn't going to bed until maybe 1 o'clock in the morning. And I'm getting a text from my manager going, what are you still doing on the system? And I'm going, working. And then you're going in, then you're going in the following day at 9 o'clock, and it's like you're doing it all over again. And then you're up at 1 o'clock the following morning. But
that's the things we don't see. Like we just see it's at Wembley and everything's there, but not
Wembley Stadium. At the age of 18 at the time, for me, I was just thinking, what on earth?
That is so impressive.
And I was working in the ticket office on the match day. And I'm sat there going, I recognise some of you people sat at the windows because they were attending UCFB or attending university, or people that I knew anyway. And I'm thinking, this is really weird to be in the position of where I'm overseeing the management of tickets, not just me, the team that was with, my ticket manager as well, overseeing all the ticket allocation for Wembley.
That's so cool though.
And we were one of 6 clubs that obviously went for the playoffs that season, so obviously League 1, League 2 and Championship. We're the only club that went with our own ticketing provider.
Wow.
So it meant we had the management of every single ticket going through our system. Any club that goes through to Wembley, they get given a list of different ticket providers they can go with to sell their tickets. It means that your ticket office doesn't have an oversight as such on the ticket allocations or where tickets are sold or the actual customer interaction. We'd said, and after much arguing with multiple parties and people that were involved, we said, no, we are doing this ourselves. We're a very innovative football club, digitally and ticket-wise, that we want to prove a point that we don't need big ticket companies or bigger parties involved to sell tickets to supporters. We still want that authentic touch of supporters having that ticket being sold to them over the phone by me, by the team. in person. We had people queuing around the car park where we set like an obstacle course queue line, going from the front gate.
I went there with my friends.
Going from the front gate of the queue, from the front gate of the stadium, going all the way back through a tent marquee which we have as a bar on a match day, going through one of the fire exit doors into the stadium.
Makes a bit more fun.
Literally going through
my
one of the bars, through the boardroom, through the club shop, down the players' entrance reception, into our club reception. And it's not just me and the ticketing team that's selling tickets. Our retail manager, we got her set up on the ticket system. We taught her the system. She was selling tickets.
Wow.
Our commercial team, there's 4 or 5 of them selling tickets. Because they understood we're a small team, but that personal touch, that someone's coming up to you and going, I'd like a ticket for Wembley. Our fans love that.
I think that's brilliant.
I think it's the community feel that you get from Wycombe. Like whenever I see you make posts on LinkedIn or anything like that, you can tell that it's more like a family orientated club, which I think is something that Premier League clubs do miss out on sometimes.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
But with Premier League clubs, I have to say this, with Premier League clubs, they've got so many staff that staff can focus on one thing.
Yeah.
With my job role, I'm doing ticketing, I'm supplying mascots, I'm organising group bookings, I'm doing away allocations.
Oh my God.
Then you're doing system
Everything.
administration.
Ryan, do you sleep?
If I were to tell you I was up at 1 o'clock this morning still doing work.
I can believe it.
Yeah.
I do sleep.
Get this man coffee.
Did you got your day off today?
That's the thing, don't even drink coffee.
Oh,
so
God.
literally, I'm just running on, what was it we run on the office? Sweets.
So-
Hardball sweets is the thing we run off in our
Wow.
office, and biscuits.
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 For me,
Tea
it's
and
like,
biscuits.
where I don't drink hot drinks and everyone else drinks hot drinks, I have a bottle of like diluted squash on my desk
Wow.
with my own glass and a little
So
coaster,
cute.
and I just go, yeah, I'm going to make myself a drink. If I
Yeah.
go to the kitchen and then come back and it's like, right, work.
Yeah.
Screen, laptop, mouse, ticket printer.
That's
What's going to
crazy.
come at me today?
Yeah.
That's the one
That's true
thing
as
I
well.
can say.
You're having to learn so many different skills from so many different roles you've got, but also it's just surprising. It's,
Yeah.
And with-
100%.
That's exciting.
With the
though.
system we've got, you know, I can talk about that. With the system we've got, the team that we have behind the scenes that run the system, very innovative. So they're a Danish company and they oversee all the Danish league. So they've got a
Wow.
lot of ticketing experience. And one thing you find with ticketing, everyone in ticketing that works for these companies that provide systems tend to be ex-ticket managers or ex-ticketing executives or had a role in ticketing and events.
Yeah.
So you're kind of influencing your system for the things that didn't work out for you.
Yeah.
And, you know, the skills that I've learned whilst at Wycombe, I've never known how to build a web page before.
Yeah.
I'm now sat there and I've built with the team that our ticket company with, and obviously the team that I had at the time, because there's been some changes. I sat there and built HTML web pages. Our ticket site has built in
That's so
templates
cool.
and things.
They're hard to build as
And
well.
you go in, and you know, if you were to go on the website today, you'd be able to see home tickets, away tickets, match day parking, hospitality, season tickets, match day tours, mascot packages, here to help pages. And as much as it takes time, it's one of those skill sets I go, actually, I never knew how to do this before,
Yeah.
but now it's something that I've gone, right, something to add onto my CV, something new,
Yeah.
and something I can go to someone else. And I've been teaching other people, here's how you edit certain bits. Maybe not a whole web page,
Right.
but here's a thing of like, okay, hospitality, you oversee the hospitality page. To change this, you just do this, this, and this.
Yeah.
And you just make instructions for them. But
Of course.
it's every day is a learning day.
Yeah.
I'm always learning something new. On the way here, I was, you know, answering emails. Again, learning something new. People send you an email about an away ticket allocation. You go, okay, yep, sorted, no worries. Oh, what the ticket price of this? Oh, yep, here it is. I was sat on the train doing a custom link to an event for someone. But that's how portable my work environment
Yeah,
is as
of
well.
course.
That's you can do it
yeah.
anywhere.
Yeah.
Like at Wembley,
quite nice.
most clubs would have their ticket system on a laptop. I can literally sit here at Wembley,
And just do it.
get it on my phone.
Wow.
Right, I need to go and put this game live.
Yeah.
So, for example, we've got a game versus Bradford City this weekend,
Right.
FA Cup,
Yeah.
FA Cup replay potentially. So then it's like, okay, perhaps we've got a set date, and it's like, right, I might get the call that afternoon at 5 o'clock, and it's 0-0, stalemate. We need the match going on sale. 20 minutes, maybe a bit more if I'm on the ball with it. But within 20 minutes to an hour, that game could be on the system ready to go live.
Oh my days.
Yeah.
That's heavy.
That's
That's
actually
so
mad.
heavy.
That is so cool just hearing about everything you're doing.
So we'll move on to the last question for this segment, but before we do, I think I don't think you give yourself too much credit because you said briefly about how lucky you are and how very
I wanted
fortunate
to
you
say
are.
that as well, actually. Yeah,
And
I'm happy you said
mate,
that.
you are one. You're very humble, but I don't think luck has anything to do with it personally. The amount of work you've put in on the voluntary basis that you've done before, and I mean the work you do now, it proves that one, they picked the right man, and two, they knew why you were the right man. Because look at what you're doing now. I can cope
You
with
just
that.
seem
I couldn't.
happy talking about it as well. Like you're meant
Definitely
to be.
passion.
That's where you're meant
Definitely
to be right
passion.
now.
And
100%.
as you say, passion. If you don't have passion for sport, like I said, I don't understand sport. Can be a bit.
I get it
It's
though.
still
I
actually
actually
bad.
get it.
Can we just quote that?
Generally, there's been
Don't
times
understand
where I told people that and I go, I don't understand sport as much as many.
Yeah.
There are certain
Yeah.
things you pick up on and you go, yeah, I understand that,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't be able to tell you the ins and outs of where someone's position is on a football pitch. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh yeah, that's for example, that's Adebayo Akinfenwa. names, I'm fine with.
Yeah.
Positions on a football pitch, not so much. I know he's the world's strongest striker, but that's a quote
heard
from
that
his,
once.
that's a quote from his book. But you know, that sort of thing, a business mindset is where I go down.
Yeah,
And
I can see
customer service, heavy in my role.
Just good chatting to people.
Yeah.
Just yeah.
So-
I mean,
Good people
very
skills.
examples on this podcast, you know, I'm waffling.
No, but it's good. It's good. I like what you're saying. It's really
No.
interesting. I'm actually
For
shocked
sure.
with a couple of things. But yeah, my last question for you for this segment is: you're a massive Wycombe Wanderers fan, and I'm presuming you've been. Am I right in saying, because I did my research, from the age of 7, you've been a Wycombe Wanderers fan, or
Say it's
around
wrong,
that
please
time?
say it's wrong.
I'm probably wrong. I feel like I saw it as from.
I think that's, if I'm honest, I remember the fixture more than how old I was. I just remember I was
Okay.
about that high.
Right, yeah, let's go
That-
7.
literally,
Let's go 7.
Probably a 7-year-old. Yeah.
I remember the picture so well. I was that high, and Bodger, who is the club mascot,
Right.
you know, the person's walking along, and they're like, "Oh, we're going to go on the mic." Who is still our current head of media and marketing, by the way.
Wow. So
Right?
you've
So
wow.
this is the thing. There's people within the
mad.
office I'm working in. I'm going. When I was that high, you were the guy on the microphone shouting out to the crowd. We've got a guy on our team who's our maintenance manager.
Yeah.
But when I was, and I told he had 10 years. He's 10 years at Wycombe as of
Yeah.
yesterday. And
As of yesterday.
when he was, you know, sat in the office and whatever, I went, it's weird. When I was, again, about that high, or maybe 13, 14 years old, and I used to be in hospitality, he used to be a hospitality waiter. And now we're sat in the same office, and I'm going, oh, we've got these seats that are broken, we need to go and fix them.
Yeah,
That's actually mad.
mad.
It's mad how you go up.
Yeah.
But I was about that high, Wycombe versus Southend. I remember
Southend United. Wow.
current head of media and comms now at the club on the microphone saying, oh, we're going to give away a prize. Can't remember what the prize. Oh no, I remember what the prize was. Still got it. And Bodger's got all these
Spoiler alert,
kids.
he won.
Yeah, spoiler. Yeah, didn't really win again. Football knowledge, not my thing. And literally stood in a circle with Bodger, and Bodger's pointing out me, and I'm thinking, obviously this is my first match. I'm thinking my dad's going to go absolutely ballistic. Where's his son gone? And my dad's just on the phone to my mum, and he remembers telling me this, and he went, yeah, I was on the phone to your mum, and all of a sudden I just saw your face on the big screen on camera. And he's thinking, what on earth have you done to get on the pitch? So then it's like, this question comes up on the screen. Now,
Oh, no.
my football knowledge at the time, obviously I'm a first-time fan, which is big in my department, big in any football club. You're a first-time
Yeah.
fan, you've got to impress.
Yeah.
You've got to impress your first-time fans. Literally, gave you a question, can't remember the question fully, and I got the answer wrong. I know you're thinking, you're in a stadium full of people, and you're thinking, I've just answered this question wrong, but you're a child, you don't really think about it.
Yeah, no
And
one's
then-
looking.
And you know, good old commentators and things at the time literally go, oh, you know, what do the crowd think? And then you're thinking, crowd's probably right. So you go with the crowd answer, oh, you've won. And it was a signed Gareth Ainsworth shirt.
Really?
That's actually
That's
pretty cool.
class.
Is it like framed? on
Wasn't
the
framed,
wall,
so
or-
it was gold pen, still got
Yeah.
it, never worn. But I keep that because to me, that's the first time I've gone to a football match and I've gone, actually, this is the club I want to support.
Yeah.
It's only
Oh,
5
that's
minutes
really-
down the road
That gave
from
me
me.
goosebumps. That's
Yeah, I
actually
love
really
that.
cute. I
That's
like
so
that.
lovely.
I'm only 5 minutes down the road from where I live to the football
Of
ground.
course, yeah.
But it's one of those things where I pull it out every now and again when you do, like, you know, you do your clear out of your football
Course.
gear and whatever. Or what do
Yeah.
I wear to the football
Yeah.
nowadays? Oh, it's going to be this season's shirt, or
Yeah.
a few seasons ago vintage wear or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's the one shirt I keep in my wardrobe all the time, and just think, that's why I support Wycombe.
That's where it
That
started.
little moment, that's where it started. That little moment, and
Brilliant.
It's
That
just gone on
is
from
That
there.
is
Brilliant.
so cute.
Thank you so much for that segment.
That
I
perfectly
have,
wrapped that up.
honestly, your answers have been perfect. I really enjoyed
Literally.
that. So we're going to move on to a game next, which is a tier list. So obviously you've been a ticketing exec, you've hosted a lot of teams, you've also been to a lot of teams for Wickham. We're going to rank teams that you thought had the best fan bases, or when you had to host them, or when you had to go to them, how you'd rank them in terms of fan base and handling and stuff.
Okay.
So we'll move on to that segment now. Okay, so Ryan, how this is going to go, obviously because we don't have the ticketing experience that you have.
All down to you.
It's all down to you. So we've got this full list of teams down here, which is a lot. Obviously there's going to be a lot here that you haven't hosted or haven't been to, which is not an issue. If that's the case, you put them in the bottom tab that says haven't been hosted, or haven't been or haven't hosted. But you go from fantastic, great, okay, trouble, and I can imagine you already know what that means in terms of, yeah, I don't need to
Just
explain
put them all, just
Yeah.
line them up.
Okay, so let's go straight off the bat. Accrington Stanley.
Now,
Win them.
Accrington Stanley, what I like about them, they're one of those clubs, very similar, I would say, Carlisle, which
Oh, okay.
very
So
similar to
my dad
Carlisle
supports
about like
Carlisle.
the distance that they travel and the support of base as well. I'm going to say fantastic.
Wow,
Oh.
straight off the
Home and
bat.
away, their fans, even though they come in small numbers, they
Yeah.
do create a
They're good
massive
people.
good atmosphere.
Whilst we're
That's
here, are we
cute.
saying that the same for Carlisle, or is it going to be
Well,
different for Carlisle?
Carlisle, we actually host them. We actually hosted them on Saturday, a few Saturdays just gone.
Oh.
I'd
Yeah.
say we'll put them. We'll put them fantastic
Okay, all right.
as well.
Yeah.
What I like about the clubs, obviously we used to be called or nicknamed Little Wickham as well.
Right.
But what I like about some of these clubs as well is that the way that they communicate with our fans and we communicate with them. They like coming to these grounds because they know how they're going to be welcomed.
Oh, I see.
So the fans
You've
are
got
brilliant,
similarities.
Yeah.
as well as all the ticketing stuff. I can only really talk about fans because
Yeah.
that's a lot of the interaction I do as well. 'Cause
Yeah.
you're only talking to a tickets manager at another club 2-3 times.
Right.
So
Well, this
The-
is
It's
yeah.
the
This
faces
is
you're seeing when they
100%,
come in anyways.
exactly.
This is definitely like fan focused. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. So you're the right man for it, clearly. Arsenal, I'm presuming you haven't been.
Arsenal, in my experience, no, we haven't. I haven't hosted
That'd be
them
mad
or
one.
worked with them.
Wimbledon.
Wimbledon, I'm going to put as great.
Okay.
Another little story for them.
Yep.
2 seasons ago, when we first looked at digital away tickets, at the time it was not a thing that clubs would do. They were one of the first clubs we introduced it with when we went to the new Plough Lane. So they're obviously new stadium to us, and obviously to them to do this as well. They trusted us, and we built a stadium map, very similar to how we did Wembley. Built a stadium map, people bought their tickets online, got it straight to their phone, got to the turnstile, scanned it in on the phone, went through the turnstile.
Wow.
That's where we
cool.
now, that's
Start
where we
something
led.
new.
Exactly, but that's where we led the whole idea of doing digital away tickets.
Ah, I see.
So
Look
that
at
one I would say is a great for
Yeah.
allowing us. And
Why
they were
not
great to work with.
fantastic though?
Yeah,
What's that
good question.
What's that little thing that's stopping you?
But I think for me, it's great what they did in terms of fan wise. There wasn't obviously from my own interactions. I didn't really interact with the fans, sort of thing. But for me,
Fair,
it's
no,
great
that's
that they
fair.
allowed us to do what
If I was
we
gonna
wanted
get
to
some
do.
juices.
Yeah.
Move on.
Nothing there. Aston Villa, I'm
Aston
presuming.
Villa, we have when I was a supporter, it
Oh,
was
okay.
a FA Cup and FA Cup replay.
Okay.
I wasn't there for that one, but my sister was because
Yep.
she's a massive Wickham fan.
Right.
And the whole story
in
for
the
her
blood.
as well. Generally, put them as okay, just
Alright.
because we've played them. That again, Brummies, nice fans.
Barnsley.
Great,
Yeah.
nice people.
Lovely. Lovely. Happy
Sure,
with
it's
that.
important that one.
Happy
Yeah.
with that. Barrow.
Not to my knowledge, since my employment.
So shall we
Then-
put haven't been?
Haven't been or
let's-
hosted.
let's
It's probably
put
going to be one of those things where I look back afterwards and go, oh yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Just edit it in.
Birmingham City.
Birmingham, that was during COVID. So
Yeah, I
when
was
we were in
gonna
the
say,
championship,
yeah.
we didn't. So part of me wants to just say okay. Because
Yeah, I think that's fair.
we
You
played
can't really,
them.
yeah.
But you can't really,
can't
when
really
it's
judge.
COVID time, you can't, can you
Yeah.
really? Yeah, I get that. Oh God, I nearly threw up, sorry. Blackburn, oh God.
I actually looked and I was like, wait.
No, sorry,
There's
no.
a mug
Still
there.
hanging.
I just can't, I can't say that. Do you want to say the name for me? I can't say the
No,
name.
you can just talk
Oh,
about
yeah.
them.
Blackburn.
Yeah, thank you.
Again, COVID time.
So fantastic, yeah.
Don't you dare. You'll be out.
What's the 10 out of 10?
Should we just keep going out?
Behave.
Where's the door? We'll put them in okay. Again, very similar to Birmingham.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair
No
enough.
exact knowledge, but yeah.
Blackpool.
Blackpool, League One.
Mm-hmm.
So we are playing them this year.
Yeah, you are, yeah.
Have we played them at home? Yes, we have. Played them in the summer. Great, good people.
Nice
team to work with. Yeah.
Bolton Wanderers.
We have to have the story time. Can we have story time, please?
Can we change trouble to something else? Look, I'm going to put them in okay.
All right. Oh, really?
Okay.
But I will explain why they're like borderline.
Please. Yeah.
The fans, I can't fault them.
Yeah.
Nice people. The story.
Apart from this one.
One story is very recently we had a Twitter notification come through and we think, it comes through and it goes, Wycombe Wanderers hot dog served to a Bolton fan.
Do I have permission to put it up on here for people to see, or would you prefer not to?
I prefer not to. Honestly.
Yeah, that's
you
fine.
can probably just search on. It's on Instagram as well.
It. Yeah.
Everyone's searching.
You can go and search it and you can see it. It's on like 775,000 views. Yeah, this hot dog didn't look very good.
Didn't look very good. We've seen it.
We saw it and we were just like, oh no, that just defies. Most people that defied the game in a sense, even though we lost 4-2.
Wow.
People were talking about
No
the
one
hot
knows
dog
that,
rather than the result.
Yeah.
And to that Bolton fan, you're very well respected. You can come back anytime you want. However, we have changed hot dog since. So hopefully not a bad experience next time.
Have you played Bournemouth?
Bournemouth, not in my time.
No. So let's put that in.
Put them in haven't hosted.
Bradford City.
We played them this weekend, surprisingly.
Wow.
So I'm going to put them in okay.
Yeah.
They've been great to work. They've been okay and great to work with. But again, fan-wise, also I can't really comment on that.
No.
Yeah, that's fair.
Brentford.
That was a championship game. So that was, I think, the season.
When you was up, championship.
That's what I mean. I'm thinking back to championship when obviously that was when I wasn't working, but that was when I was a fan, sat there on iFollow every week, and you go, yep, loss. Next week, loss. And then I think it was like just the fixture we played on Tuesday. I think someone had actually said that was the first time in the championship season we scored our first goal in the championship.
Wow.
It took that long.
Wow.
That's actually mad. That's
wow.
impressive. I don't know if that's the right word.
I think it was just one of those things that settling into the championship.
100%.
It's difficult. But
Yeah.
we got through it, missed out by a point. But I'll put Brentford as okay on those reasons as well.
Nice.
Brighton. My time hasn't.
I was going to say, I don't know how they would.
I'm telling you, there's going to be a Wycombe fan watching this going, yeah,
Yes,
you're wrong.
yes.
It was actually August 2016. Yeah.
It generally will be. Someone will have my number and go, you're wrong, you're wrong.
Fine.
Bristol City.
Don't say that.
Fact, yeah.
Not manifesting.
I don't have a job after this. Bristol City,
Yeah.
we did play them
Ooh.
last season in the Carabao Cup.
Oh, right. Oh.
They were up at great. They were good supporters,
Cute.
nice to interact with, no issues really. So, yeah, great.
Cool. Bristol Rovers. They've just sacked their manager, Bristol Rovers, actually.
They have just sacked their manager.
Joey
So
Barton.
have Bristol City sacked their manager.
Have they? I'm not. Wait,
Yeah.
what? I didn't know about this.
Nigel.
Oh my God, I do know
Pearson?
this. Yeah, I do know this. Yeah.
I like the fact he's one of the few managers that's got Twitter. So he released his own little statement on Twitter. Right? Great club.
That's kind of.
Fans were great.
That's kind of mad.
Bristol Rovers.
That's not a
I
good
don't want to
reaction.
say trouble. I just feel like any club can't be trouble.
Do you want me to reword it? Is there a better rewording for this one? Let's go with.
Not the best. could be better.
Mediocre.
Yeah, that's probably.
It's the balance between okay and not play.
Yeah, mediocre.
It's a bit like
Have I spelled mediocre
Is that how you spell it? That does not look right.
No, that can't be.
We do journalism.
Or no comment.
No comment.
That
Let's
could
say
be
no
good.
comment.
No comment.
That's much better.
It's
yeah.
not a negative.
You
it's
can
not
spell
a
that one, right?
positive.
There we go.
There we
Yeah,
go.
that one's right. I hope.
I would say Bristol Rovers is a no comment.
Okay.
So you're not giving a comment, or can we have a reason?
There's supposedly, I don't. Obviously, I'm still a young Wycombe fan in a sense. Apparently, there's some rivalry. I could be wrong, but
I saw
basically our clubs don't really like each other in a sense. And obviously, the previous managers they've had, our fans haven't gotten along with, or they've commented.
Right.
They're very vocal on our style of football.
Right.
We have changed style of football since Gareth Ainsworth left. I
Right.
must add.
Yeah.
But they're one of the clubs that their fans or their managers have commented on our style of football, and it just sparks a load of Twitter frenzy comments between people. So that's why they're in the no comment bit.
Wow. Yeah. Fair, I mean, fair enough. Yeah.
Makes
fair
sense.
enough.
What's that one?
The best club in the country.
Oh, okay.
Maybe not recent results though.
Awesome, yeah.
Good at documentaries though.
Not bad. Have you watched the Sky
it.
one? That's class.
That sort of thing interests me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
like
was.
finding out the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I liked it. I just feel like. Like Burnley as a town, we're a very green town. Like we're a very, not in terms of like eco-friendly, but in terms of like, in terms of like nature. Like we've got like a nature, like nature-wise for Burnley as a town is very good. And I felt like there's a narrative for Burnley that we're this scruffy miners, industry town. And I just didn't like the intro of like the Sky just made it like they would record scruffy streets and dirty streets and say that's not Burnley. Like you're adding to the narrative, and I just didn't like that. But I was like. Yeah. Showing the club and the inside and everything, I was a big fan of. And I've met Alan Pace, like the owner of Burnley, and he's a brilliant man. He's a very, very, very good man.
And the thing is with football clubs, even though you're rivals on the pitch, together off the pitch I was speaking to the ticket team at Burnley before regarding things. I've spoken to Burnley about their work that they do for the Hive, the opportunities thing.
Yeah.
That's cool. They've started doing this.
It's one of those things where in football, you're communicating with other clubs even though you're rivals on the pitch. Off the pitch, you've all got the same job in a sense just for your club.
Yeah.
And there's going to be something that one club does that's really good best practice to another club which actually you need to go, we do need to improve. So it's like, for me, there's clubs out there that I know I can go to because their information is really good. So for me, I'd say Plymouth, Ipswich, Burnley, just to name a few. There are other clubs.
Clubs are available.
Yeah, other clubs are available. But there's certain clubs that I would always sort of like go to their website because they're always on the ball. Especially with like graphic design information.
Nice.
They know what they're doing.
Nice.
So Burnley, I'm going to put in the OK column purely on.
We're going to have a
the door's there, right? No, that's fine. That's
just
yeah, you're being honest. I appreciate it.
Obviously, we haven't played them, but the work that I know that they've done off the pitch. And they've just been great help with me in gathering those ideas as well for Wycombe. So that's
I really appreciate that comment, actually. I'm going to show that to my family. My family will want to see that. Okay, Burton. Haven't they got I swear, is it Burton that has like this this sponsor? It's like a dog care wash thing sponsor. My dad told me about it. I thought it was really interesting.
I have no idea. I'm not going to lie to you.
No. I think it's Peter Crouch was recently at Burton.
Oh yeah.
Now sponsored by Bovril, I think they are.
Yeah.
Pirelli tyres, so F1 fan.
Wow. Damn, fair play to Burton.
Let's go with an OK.
All right.
Again, no really comment.
Yeah.
Good to work with. Yeah.
Cambridge United.
Cambridge. Great. Played them on Tuesday. Again, their ticket office. Again, another club that have on the ball with information gathering, that sort of thing. Best practice.
Nice.
Fans, yeah, they're good too.
Cardiff.
I'm going to put Cardiff as fantastic.
Wow, okay.
Now,
you looked down and I was like, wait, no comment?
So fantastic purely on the
wow.
practicality of working with them. So we did a pre-season friendly this season with them. Now we're with the same ticketing company. And for one of the first, don't quote me on it, but I'm going to say it, first time in the UK that two clubs could match their ticket systems together, integrate, in a sense, and Cardiff could sell a ticket on their platform and I'd instantly get the sale on my platform. So
this is cool.
The idea of digital ticketing, most clubs tend to send once they've done a sale, they've got all the seats, details and everything, they'll send a manifest of all the barcodes for every single ticket, block, row, seat, name, to the other club. You manually import it, you test some tickets, make sure it works, tickety-boo. With Cardiff and how our system works, because again, They do it with the Danish leagues, our ticket company.
Mm.
I set the reservation for Cardiff of how many tickets I want them to sell, what ticket categories they can sell at, what are the prices. I set it all up, send them the import to their system. The systems talk, do their thing. I send them the ticket template, which we design ourselves, what information goes where. So I literally send them what is called XML coding, very similar to HTML, how it's formatted, but you literally send them the same code and go copy and paste that into your system.
Wow.
Because that's how the systems work. You've got the same settings in a sense.
That is
That'd
mental,
be so much
isn't it?
easier if every club had that.
So when they sold a ticket in Block A, Row A, Seat 1, I could go on my map instantly and go, they've sold Block A, Row A, Seat 1. Wow. This is the person's name. This is their... We got the person's name, because we have to, date of birth, because we have to, and in Cardiff's case, it was their fan number. So obviously I've got an account in Cardiff system, so I said, test it on my account, sell me a ticket, and I'll see if it works. You go on the system, right, boom, there's my ticket. When that support gets to the turnstile at our place, I was there watching it because I was thinking to myself, what happens if this doesn't work? You start processing things and you go, right, what's plan B? You're thinking, I could print out all 1,800 tickets here and have them ready for people to literally, fan, show us your ticket, scan a ticket, boom, whatever. But I was there at the turnstile watching people come through, and we had our Danish company ticket provider there with us, wanting to see this as well, because for them it's first in the UK.
Of course.
Fans are going through with tickets in their Apple Wallet, Google Wallet, or via a PDF downloadable ticket through their thing. And both of us, both clubs, we were very sceptical. We hope this is going to work. It did. That's why they're fantastic, because they let us, and
what a story.
and they helped us as well with the innovation within the industry.
Wow.
So now you see most clubs, not all systems have that technology where they can automatically get sales updates. So we do ops meetings, and it'll be like, how many away tickets have they sold? And obviously when I do the away tickets, you send stacks of paper physical tickets. Part of your job, you're sat there administering them, envelopes, franking, mailing them, whatever, recording details. With this, I could go, well, I've allocated them 1,800, but I can go on the system, they've sold X amount in Block A, X amount in Block B, X amount in Block C, etc. They sold 1,600, for example. Whereas other clubs, you have to pick up the phone and go, how many tickets you sold? How many tickets you got left? Is it pay on the day?
That's so modern. That is actually, that's the way football's going.
And it meant that we could leave, in a sense, we didn't, but in a sense, you could leave, Cardiff fans could buy a ticket up until kick-off on their ticket site and get it. They could be stood in the Adams Park car park, buying a ticket on their site for the away end. Boom, tickets there, goes to the turnstile, scan and go.
That fair play.
So the innovation within sport is there,
play,
but that's why Cardiff's fantastic.
Yep, that's a good reason. I can't fault you on that. That's fair play, man.
I've just realised we've actually got a lot to get through.
Yeah, we won't go through all of them.
We'll just go through maybe a few more. Just do a few more.
We'll do a few more. So Charlton.
Charlton will go great.
Nice.
Nice club, good people.
Happy days. Have you played Chelsea?
2001, before I was born. I'm sure it's
Good
2001.
knowledge,
I was born in 2001.
I'm sure it's 2001. But I haven't played them since. So
yeah, fair.
Cheltenham, let's go with great again.
Okay, cool.
Very similar to the Wimbledon story. Allow 2 different ticket systems, allow us to do digital tickets.
Nice.
Colchester, again, there's supposedly a rivalry between the 2 clubs.
Why?
That's odd.
Apparently, I don't know.
No.
Like,
is that a no comment one?
Put a no comment just because I can't comment. I've been there once and it was raining and we lost. So I can't really fault them on that. Coventry. Have we played them? Championship season, because they got promoted at the same time as us, I believe.
Wow.
If I remember, it was us, Rotherham and Coventry. We were the only one of the 3 teams to get relegated that season.
Oh.
1 point. That was the difference.
That's painful. That's so painful.
We picked it up at the end, but 1 point. Coventry. Haven't been / hosted, just because in my time.
Of course, get that.
Crawley, haven't hosted in my time.
Their honours, I don't know if Crawley still have the same honours, but I know like a year ago they had like NFT honours, and it was like these. Yeah. They were an interesting company, is what I'd say.
NFT is a whole nother subject.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't understand it, so I can't really comment. But from what my understanding of it and what I've read from other people.
Yeah.
People got into it 2-3 years ago, and now there's no value to it.
For me, I mean, I have to be careful what I say about NFTs, but I will say from the research I've done, I see it as a scam. I just do with the way it's going now, especially. But that's a topic for another day.
Another day.
Don't have time for that one.
Crew Alexandra.
Crew. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
They're okay.
Nice.
Crystal Palace. We played their under-21s in the EFL Trophy this season. So let's go with okay.
Sweet. Let's go with, because we're running out of time, I'll let you pick 3 from here that you want.
3 from there.
3 from the list. This is Maisie's club. Let's have Maisie in this. So Tottenham, yeah.
Tottenham. No, we have played Tottenham. White Hart Lane. We was winning at half time, and then they brought Harry Kane and Son on.
Of course they did.
So we then lost, I think, 4-3. 4-3.
Wow.
Now
That's
that one,
wow.
I didn't go, and I absolutely, because it's one of the last few fixtures at the old White Hart Lane as well.
Wow.
I was still in school, so I was doing something with extracurricular with the school.
Yeah.
In Portsmouth. And
Wow.
I was like, I'm sacrificing not going to White Hart Lane for this, but you know what? Okay. So wish I went, but I'm going to say for that experience alone, I'm going to put great.
Hey, there we go. There we go.
Wow.
And then
Being
we've
hated for once.
got. I'll let you pick, but we've also got George here as well, who's
Not Forest.
Yeah, he's a Forest fan. He's a Forest fan. Have you played Forest? George, do you remember a time? COVID. Oh,
yeah.
Championship. Yeah,
Championship.
of course. Yeah.
We'll put okay.
Okay, there we go.
We'll go with okay. I can't comment.
Yeah.
It's like COVID's kind of messed
Again,
up.
it's another club that's on the practicality of what things they do. How can we implement them at Wickham?
Okay.
You pick things up from different clubs.
Yeah.
That's quite cool.
Go on. Now you can pick. Pick 3 that you want.
Dan's going to relax.
Yeah. Sorry.
Let's go with Ipswich.
Okay. Where?
I'm going to
There we
go
go.
with a great team behind the scenes. So proactive, on the ball with things.
Yeah.
I sometimes go, wow.
I kind
all the time.
So on the side of this, I work with Arsenal's Academy as an assistant producer.
Yeah.
And one of my first games with him was Papa John's game, Arsenal under-21s versus Ipswich, and it was at Portman Road. I want to say I still to this day, I think that's one of the best stadiums I've been to football-wise, because the way they run it, it's a proper ground, and the staff there are brilliant.
It's one of those grounds where I'd say it doesn't look old, but it doesn't look new either.
Yeah,
it just looks authentic.
Yeah, it's like classic, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like what you think of a football ground.
It's one of those
brilliant,
grounds
honestly.
where I go, even though it's some distance away maybe from Wickham,
Yeah.
I go, I'm going to make time to go to it. So it's always on the list of fixtures I look at. Obviously this season they're in the Championship. Well done to them.
Yeah.
Bitter
One of the ones I'm just like, oh, it's a shame. Portsmouth. Interesting one I want to pick out there.
Portsmouth. Why can't I find Portsmouth?
It was next row down.
Next row down.
Left. Next to
Where?
Preston.
Oh, there it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
Portsmouth. There we go.
Portsmouth. Why am I saying Portsmouth? Good away day last year. The final game of the season. Just enjoyed myself really for that one.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So
Fantastic.
We're going to say great for that one. And
sweet.
final
Oh, God.
club. I mean, I could pick Wickham, but then I just think Wickham's more than fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Well, I'll put Wickham in fantastic for you
Yeah,
anyway.
thank
Hang
you.
on. Oh, God, hang on. Let me fix that for you. There we go.
Tech expert.
final club I want to go with is Sunderland.
Oh,
Now,
I like that.
I just want to put on the record, nothing against any of the other clubs that are on there. Some of them we haven't played or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm picking Sunderland. Number 1, Wembley. I don't think we could have had any other team at Wembley than Sunderland.
Yeah.
They were great to work. There's another story about Wembley. We had a call with them once, and they said, "Oh, how many staff you got working in your ticket office?" And we said, "Oh, there's one doing system administrations. One, this was like early stage of selling. One doing the system, which was the ticket manager. We've got one answering emails, which was someone from our ticket company who knows our emails and our fans. One on the phones, which was me, and one answering anyone in person." Oh, was their response. We've got 7 on. I'm sure it was like we've got 7 on the phones, 6 answering emails, 4 or 5 people in person. And at that point we thought, wow.
That's mental.
We're a really small team, but
Wow,
We loved it.
that's
Yeah.
We were powered by Monster, Red Bull, and Chinese food.
Wow.
Every
What did
day
you
we had
want?
an order of different food or Chinese come into the office on a trolley by our caterer.
Wow.
And it'd just be like, yep, this is a good life, isn't it? And generally, throughout the day, we'd have
Mad.
cartons of tea, coffee, and for me, juice. Just come through the office, be like, oh,
Child.
fresh tea, anyone? But no, Sunderland, again, fantastic stadium. Great people behind the scenes. Good documentary as well.
Yeah, Sunderland Until I Die.
Sunderland Until I Die, very informative documentary. I'd say it's one of the, very informative, and it's one of the first football documentaries sort of around as well.
I would say, I think it was the first.
One of-
that
yeah,
definitely.
And then people started going into that thing of
100%.
documentaries, but
Because that's when Amazon started to pick up on
Yeah.
like Tottenham and City and stuff.
great
like that.
people, supporters are lovely,
Mm.
down to earth, and no issues ever.
Nice, nice. Good segment. I'm happy with some of your answers there. Burnley could be better, but you know, let's move on. Thanks for that. So we're going to move on to our second segment now when we talk about relevant news topics of today. We'll move on to that now. Okay, so the first news topic that we're going to go through today is an interesting one, to say the least. So Chansiri, I think I pronounced that right. So
Yeah.
he's Sheffield Wednesday. Abba?
Yeah.
Wow, brilliant. He's the Sheffield Wednesday owner. He's currently having issues with the EFL and could be placed under a transfer embargo because he currently owes $2 million. And the way to handle it, he's decided to ask the fans to cover the £2 million debt. Before we go into it properly, I just want to use a quote that he has used. He had said in a statement, if 20,000 people gave £100, then it's 2 million, and it'd be clear, so we can finish it. Your thoughts?
I was shocked. Like,
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
I mean, that quote in itself, I'm thinking to myself, I hope he's taken time to think of the math for that. I mean, the math is correct, but
Yeah.
I'm thinking to myself, if I'm a support, I'm sort of thinking, yeah, that works out. But I'm looking at that and I'm going, okay, the fans are already putting enough money as it is.
Yeah.
literally.
Now, with Sheffield Wednesday, it is public knowledge that they've got some of the highest season ticket fees, or season tickets and match tickets within the Championship, and I think might be higher than some Premier League football clubs.
Wow.
I'm sure it's like £50 an away fan maybe or something. I'm not sure, I could be incorrect. But obviously that was in the summer. Fans are putting enough money into any football club as it is.
Yeah, that is
So,
true.
Is it... I understand where he's coming from. I mean, if it was my football club, I'd probably say, fine, I will put money in to clear the debts.
Of course. Oh, yeah,
But that's my own fan
But
opinion.
didn't
Yeah.
Wickham start off when people would
we
basically do
we
that
were
anyways?
fan owned. Before we had an
Yeah.
owner, we were fan ownned by
Yeah,
the
you
fans.
were.
But I think because you started
completely-
fan owned, it's different. Whereas this is like almost saying
Well,
that you
I've
need
had-
to.
Am I
yeah.
right in saying that you still have like a stake, like a supporter stake? It's like 10% or something like that.
So in just in April, just gone at the end of last season, our owner increased his stake from 75% to 90%.
Wow.
But the fans still own 10% of the club.
Nice.
So they still have an influence for our supporters trust, who, throughout the time when we were fan owned, did a magnificent job, kept the club afloat. When we were at Torquay, nearly about to get relegated out of the League Two, dropped down into the National League.
Yeah.
And then we had this resurgence, and where we are now, we're a sustainable League One football club.
Yeah, 100%.
So it's a difficult one to really comment on,
Course.
because every football club will understand their finances and where things are going. Is it that they need to potentially reshuffle finances? Who knows?
Yeah.
Has there been overspending in other departments? Who knows? But for them to be in that much debt, was it decisions that were made prior to them understanding how much debt they had
Yeah.
influenced that? Because obviously they had, they sacked, is it Darren Moore? They sacked Darren Moore.
Darren Moore, they did, yeah.
And then his backroom staff, if he was still under contract, there's a big payout there. So
100%. Well,
it's difficult.
From my knowledge as well, and I'll be honest, I don't want to say this is definitely true, but from the research I've done, I believe it's on the right tracks. So their wages from them basically being promoted apparently are astonishingly high, like crazy high, where players are being paid like 35k a week, 40k a week, which for a team like that is a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's, again, I can't prove that's true, but from research that I've looked into, it's looking likely. So I think it's just, from my perspective, maybe some bad deals that that they've put forward. And you know, the situation with Darren Moore, I always think that's a strange one. I really do. And I get your point with, you know, if Burnley was in this situation, I'd put money to. I would. It's my club. But for me,
it's just the way he's worded
the way he's worded it,
yeah.
like you know, if just 20, is it 20,000 or what was it?
20,000.
Oh, if just 20,000 just gave
people.
100, you know, it just seems out of touch.
It's as though he's throwing the responsibility on the fans for not giving him enough or giving the club
Yeah.
enough money.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
It actually, yeah.
but the
Just
thing is, though, it'd
doesn't
be
sit
like
right.
you know they'll have so many people that will be very concerned by that.
Yeah.
Not just fans, but the fan groups. For example, as you can see that in the local MP as well. It's very concerning, as,
Yeah.
as they quoted there.
Yeah.
So
But she
gonna
called for an urgent meeting, didn't
yeah,
she? So-
there's going to be a lot of conversation, and again, this is one club of many that are in a situation.
True.
It's
Of course.
just that they've gone public with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Yeah, I know that Wolves are in a similar situation because of COVID as well. That they basically this season they were like, we just can't buy anyone transfer wise because our cash flow is just terrible at the minute, and a
So
lot of
they've
clubs
made
are
that
facing
sensible choice not to,
Yeah.
rather than to be like,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
you guys do it, and we're going to carry on doing
100%,
the
yeah,
business we
pretty
do.
much.
That's
Yeah.
there's ways to
So we'll
word
see where
it,
he goes
but-
with Sheffield
yeah,
Wednesday,
as
but
I
I
say,
don't
it's
think
early
it's.
on, but
Yeah. Okay, we'll move on to our second topic. Oh, and we've got a lot of ads.
nice.
Gillingham fan arrested and given a lifetime ban for disgusting racist gesture towards Newport's on Bogle. I'm presuming you both know about this story and have heard about this story. It's a bit of an insane story. I'm not going to put the clip up, but I mean the guy who did it, very rightly so, deserved it, 100%.
Yeah.
He literally out in public, like, right in front of the stand, did awful gestures. And I think for the club to just do it so instantly, you know, I think you've got to give them credit for that. What's your take on it, both of you guys?
I think, as you said there, the issue, what happened got identified. I mean, it was on public in front of the cameras that are provided to clubs to broadcast football. It was caught on camera, got put on social media, club acted on it. By the end of the fixture, they've dealt with it, released a statement, and obviously all the charities and organisations that are there to support those affected, especially the players involved.
Yeah.
So I can only praise what Gillingham and all the all the people involved did to make the situation, you know, how they handled it. But it shouldn't be happening in football. Quite simply,
That's
I think, the underlying message. These sorts of actions should not be happening in football non-stop, or any sport, anywhere. And as you say, it is disgusting. Lifetime ban. That person, if they're young, I mean, just throw this on the perspective that if they're a young person, they've done that gesture, they've got a lifetime ban, they're never going to a football match again, potentially. Well, most likely not, it's a lifetime ban.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It is impressive what you're saying, that they dealt with it so quickly.
Yeah.
But it's like, why are they still having to deal with that?
Exactly.
Like that's the main issue
That's
of
the
why
underlying
is this
factor,
still
isn't it?
why is it still happening?
Yeah.
Like, even if a player's performing really bad, you don't turn to their identity, you just say they're performing bad.
Yeah.
Or even
Yes.
if they're winning against your team, they're playing really well, why do you have to bring in their
100%.
I don't know, their identity? Like, it just, for me, it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have obviously, if you don't want to comment on this, more than welcome to say that too. But have Wickham ever had to have conversations, maybe not on the racist side, but in terms of a discriminatory side, where as a club you've had to discuss where do we go from here, or you know, a certain situation where this isn't right, what do we do now, kind of thing?
We always have meetings about equality, diversity, and inclusion. So it covers a lot of bases. I'm part of the group that oversees some of that. Obviously, from a ticketing perspective, I'm working with the supporters. So obviously, I get complaints come through to me about how actions or what was said at a football match, whether that's home or away. So obviously, I'm getting a lot of this stuff coming through. So we're always implementing strategies to alleviate that, but we're also training and developing not just the staff that work match days and non-match day full time, but your stewards as well, because the stewards are the ones that are going to have the report or are going to hear it. So you get it, I can't just say at Wickham, but you get it at football clubs. As soon as it goes on social media, you are then aware something has happened, and you then investigate it further, and you try and find out what's happened and work out strategy forward, of not just a strategy of how do we stop those actions happening again, but also how do we then give some support to those that are affected. And it's that balance of doing both of those. You get it at any club, any sport. It happens anywhere. But I think more people now are not doing or making these sorts of comments in person. They're doing it on social media.
100%.
And that's where it just goes into a whole...
It's tricky, doesn't it?
Yeah, very tricky to track someone.
This is the identity. It's not. It's
all they need to do, quite simply, is potentially tweet on a false account. Someone screenshots that tweet, retweets it or whatever, and then they delete the account. And then that tweet is then going round and round and round the interweb everywhere. Quote tweet, someone's got a screenshot, it's then in your mate's group chat. And then it gets a discussion point then on the news. It doesn't need anywhere in sport at all.
No,
but
completely agree. Completely agree. Ryan, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
So thank you for being here.
You're not only a credit to Wickham, but I think you're a credit to yourself. You've been an absolutely fantastic guest, and some of the stories you've told have been absolutely brilliant. So yeah, thank you for coming on to the press box. Do I need to do the corny thing again?
Of course, you take it away.
I apologise for you having to witness this. If you like the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more of our content, make sure to hit the subscription button, and if you want to be notified when we upload, make sure to hit that notification bell. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.